Welcome to ARWOW 7B. Before we get started, here's where you need to place to prize, survive and be eliminated. The voting shoutouts go to whoever voted 3 times or on the mega page, so they go to contestants FlyGamez, Silly Circus, ARWOW, ADK and PizzaEnjoyer, along with eliminated contestant Jolly Rookie, and at Nobody That You Know LOL, at Northeast Benefactor, at Logan-H.44, at Ultimate Gamer-BM6YT, and at MathGuy37. Now let us not wait any longer and get started. PizzaEnjoyer had 3 responses due to prizing and due to having at least 2 lives by the end of ARWOW 6. If you want the proper rundown of how that works, go watch ARWOW 5C. Anyway, their best response was, "You're invincible for 24 hours. What do you do?" This response, the biggest one, meaning it scored the best, has a nice idea, but yet again, doesn't use proper punctuation, with them using your instead of your. But how do you do? No way, 65.91%, yes, no tricks, and this might even be a round win. By the way, the translucent bars are extra responses which don't count. Now let's see the score of Silly Circus. Silly Circus submitted 2 responses, but the better scoring one was, if you could bring an eliminated contestant back, who? This response wants the contestant's opinion on who should come back into the game, but there will not be any rejoins in ARWOW. You'll have to wait until Season 2 for that. Silly Circus, how do you do? Yikes, only 49.24%, which is slightly below the midpoint of 50%, but we will have to see whether you are safe or not. The green area is where you need to place in order to instantly be declared safe. Chalked Adrian C only had 1 life and didn't prize, meaning they only get 1 response, which they responded with, "You're stuck in the chalkboard, how do you escape?" This is an interesting idea for a response, again referencing a chalkboard, but it's their only response, so it has to be good enough to survive. 52.06%, which is above average, and PizzaEnjoyer is safe. Next up is FlyGamez. FlyGamez is the first contestant to get 2 prizes, and speaking of the number 2, they had 2 responses. Their best scoring response was, "How do you grieve the eliminations of former contestants?" I don't know what to put here, except that their second response was the old EWOW 10 prompt, which makes sense why it scored lower, because people thought that the form would also get taken down if we did that. 62.88% is a good enough score to make them the first contestant instantly safe. Despacito's 50 millionth liker said with their 1 response, "You're in a dangerous war, how do you survive?" Honestly, I am running out of things to say. Yikes, 37.34%, right above the death zone. If Despacito's 50 millionth liker wants to survive, both remaining contestants must place below them. I, AAA9676, am next. I had 2 responses, but the best scoring of which was, "What's the most evil use of a conveyor belt?" Fun fact, this response was going to be the original ARWOW 7 prompt, but it got scrapped in favour of this one because I wasn't sure if the contestants would like it or not. AAA9676 is safe. Sorry Despacito's 50 millionth liker, but you are out. Today we lose our first ever round winner, and in fact the first round winner to ever be eliminated. You had held on to that 3rd life all the way until ARWOW 4, but then it went down for you by placing in the red region 3 times, but this time will be your last. ARWOW ADK is the last contestant up on the stage. Either them or Silly Circus will be leaving us shortly in the ranking of 6th. Despacito's 50 millionth liker is already out, but who will join them? It all comes down to this response. Why does February not March, but instead April, May? This is a surprisingly coherent response, talking about February not wanting to march, the thing where you walk formally, but instead April wanting to instead. Who will get out next? It all comes down to whether Agadoo, Nerd Guy, and King can beat 49.24%, otherwise they are out. Either bringing contestants back or interactions with months will get someone out shortly. Let's see the results. Silly Circus is safe. Sorry Agadoo, Nerd Guy, IDK, but you're out. It sucks to be eliminated so early after joining, but there's nothing that can change that. A misunderstood response isn't a fun way to go, especially if the response had actually been very good if understood correctly. Here are the ARWOW 7 results. Green means they win a prize and red means they are out. Responses that don't count have a dash next to them. Here are our final 5 contestants. And here is how many responses each contestant gets. If you had 3 lives by ARWOW 6B, you get an extra response, and if you got a prize, you also get an extra response. PizzaEnjoyer, since you prized again, your compensation prize from ARWOW 6 will come when you stop prizing. Final 5 of ARWOW, you are officially the all-stars of the season, having beaten out 2/3 of the competition. As a reward, you can customize the background of your name on the contestant screens. You can either choose a regular color like blue, green, cyan, or you can set an RGB or hex value. If you do use an RGB or hex value, please mention so in the ARWOW 8 form. Finally, let's see what the word limit for ARWOW 8 is. Since PizzaEnjoyer won ARWOW 7, the prompt is, you're invincible for 24 hours. What do? Respond in 7 words or fewer. Before I say the deadline, lastly you will be asked to rank the ARWOW 1 to 6 prompts in the ARWOW 8 form, so we can have a prompt reboot in ARWOW 9. Also, you can still submit responses if you're not a contestant, or dummy responses as you call it. Respond before January 25th, 2025 at 9 PM EST using the Google form in the description.